Hello, real estate enthusiasts. So, I wanted to touch on the value of land. So, when you're going and looking at properties and you're looking at building your portfolio, so many people, you do your market research, you know the city, you know the area, you know everything. Well, I just want to add like another layer to that because a lot of investors, they'll get a property and all the numbers look good, everything looks good, and they're like, wow, it's not returning like they thought it would. It's either not performing as well or it's just not appreciating as much as some other properties are. So I want to kind of plant the seed of just another layer of what to look at. So a lot of investors, they'll see a lot of hype in like inner city. You get like that freeway circle loop and like the land in the middle in some bigger like metro areas. And some investors are very aware of why that's a highly popular area and others don't. So I want to explain on the fact that even if it is a lower class area in like that inner city loop, the value of the land is going to be so much more than outside of it. And it's because the land availability. The land is going away. There's not as much available. So a lot of developers will start developing up because the land is so expensive or there just isn't land available anymore to develop on. And so it doesn't matter if a property is falling over. It doesn't matter if a business like isn't performing. The land is what has the value. So when you're looking at building your portfolio and looking at new properties to purchase and businesses to purchase, etc., look at the value of the land. So you're looking at towns that are obviously growing and having job growth increase, population increase. They're in a growth path, meaning they're near or around a metro area, and it's kind of, they're following like the freeway path or a path a path of growth. So like Texas has a lot of paths of growth. So there's a lot of littler towns that are seeing huge growth in them because they're in the path of growth from the larger cities. And so definitely take a look at this because as you follow main freeways, the land around that increases because there's only so much land available and accessible and developable near freeways, near ports, and near airports, near like big commercial properties. And so the land itself is what has the value, not the asset. So the asset is what's producing income. So in business, commercial investing, that is what we look at to value our properties. We look at the income producing of the property. So that's how you base your purchase price off of, is because it's producing a certain amount. But that land is what holds the true value of the asset that you're purchasing, is your land. Because you want to be able to, especially in commercial, you want to be able to, if that business just is never performing, or it is just, it's industrial and it's surrounded by, I don't know, parks and malls and whatever, and you're like, okay, this industrial business just, it's misplaced. Well, the land still has so much value because of the location and the surrounding area. And so because you placed yourself appropriately, you can transform that industrial building into something else that aligns better with its surrounding. So it's the land that has value. It's your location that has so much value. So I also want to point out that when your depreciation factor for taxes and the tax portion and how they're appraised is based, the land is separate. So take that in consideration and definitely talk to your CPA. So like I said, not only when you're looking at your properties, you want to look at the areas that have not only limited supply in land, but the type of land, the location of land, the type of development and resources that are provided near or on that piece of land. But also when you're looking to actually depreciate your asset and work on your tax benefits, they're looking at the land and then the asset. They look at them separately. So it's just something really interesting to look at and just something to take into consideration if you're comparing to businesses, to structures, to storage facilities. If you're ever looking at maybe transitioning the asset or developing on it, definitely take into consideration the land itself and the value that the land itself has, because that is where the real power comes from, because the land has so much value and so much appreciation in the land itself and not just the asset. So I really wanted to help you guys separate those two when you're looking at your portfolio and looking at future properties, because they definitely do make a difference. And that is why real estate is so powerful. It's because of the land it sits on and not the asset itself. So I hope you found this helpful and might have stirred some more questions or some more views on your portfolio and what you're looking at. So drop a comment below. I love to connect. I love to talk to you guys and answer your questions, or start a conversation of anything that you're working on. So stay tuned for my next video, touching on commercial real estate and just tidbits and tips and everything that you need in between. Again, comment below, and I'd love to hear from you.